All right, so Mo Crawler again, everybody, and doing another rig breakdown. So we're going to jump into the 24th scale now. So I do have several 24 scale. This one is on another Mies, but this is the smaller Mies. I don't know. It's maybe it's the 4A, similar to the 8A that I use for my 10 scales, but it doesn't have the foot. It's kind of a pain because it won't sit like this, so you have to sit it like this, and then your screen gets kind of scratched up. But same thumb wheel, you know, same trigger feel, so they work. This is a excuse me. This is a custom chassis, hard body. If I were running it in a class, it would be my hard body entry, I suppose. You can see the you can watch the rear end suck down when you start to move forward because it's got so much front overdrive. It's actually 23%, I think. It's a lot, but you can get a lot of overdrive in these things. The turn radius is pretty good. These are Mofo axles, and you can see inside there I've got a Komodo. Is this a mini? I think it's a mini Komodo from Furitek. This one's a bit of a hodgepodge, so let's crack him open here and get this battery unhooked. We'll turn him off. And so for batteries on these, I'm using Palm Power 2S 300 mAh. And then we've got our little adapter from JST to the plugs for these. So this is a little odd. There's your Mies receiver. That's the 4 channel. They make a bigger one as well. I think that radio actually comes with 2 receivers. It's kind of more of a traditional larger receiver, and then this little guy. This little guy is good for these 24 scale because everything is so stinking small. But so Furitek transmission for the SCX24, Furitek Mini Komodo. It's 2500 kV. This is the V2. I've had really good luck with the Endura transmissions, so just the Endura gearbox and the Furitek adapters for whatever motor you happen to have from Furitek. All the ones that I have worked really well. This is an Endura MBL32G2 waterproof ESC. So I originally got this ESC with the purple Fat Viper, and that purple Fat Viper is not a great motor. At least the one that I had was not. When I switched over to this Furitek, a lot of the problems that this truck had disappeared. And so I think a lot of the problems were that Fat Viper. It was stuttery, choppy. It would kind of like brown out and just stop working, and I never really understood why. So I swapped over to a Furitek system. The Furitek ESC that came with this had its own problems. I think it was a Lizard, like a Lizard Pro maybe or something. It had a lot of problems as well. Would do similar things, kind of brown out, and it would get down in the sign, you know, kind of before it really starts to make power. Then that motor would do that stutter. So honestly, I guess I don't know 100% if it was the motor or the ESC, but the Fat Viper on this ESC would not work properly, and the Mini Komodo on the Lizard Pro would not work properly. So I just kind of kit bashed the two, and it works great now. And I don't fully understand why, to be honest with you, but it works now. So you can see how fat the frame rails are. This is a frame that I actually made. So this chassis is a copy of an Injora chassis, just cut and shaped out of aluminum. So this is 1/8 inch aluminum, and I made the rails myself. It's got the Injora. These aren't the 39 mil. I usually use the 39 mil shocks, but these are bigger. These are 40s or 42s, maybe 41s. I don't remember. But they're the slightly larger Injora shocks. So I've got the lightest springs on the front, and I've got the heavier springs on the back. It's probably oversprung in the back, but it does climb fairly well. It does do fairly well. So we're gonna leave it like that for now. I've got some weights from like a Pine Derby car. So those are Pine Derby car weights. I've got 2 large ones, and then 1/2 and then 2/4, basically just glued on there with what's it called? I've got it right here. I use it all the time. Shoe glue, yeah. So shoe glued onto the NSDRC. That is is it the 99 or the 100? 100. Yeah, the NSDRC 100 micro. That's been a pretty good steering servo for me. That is just a cheap Amazon servo horn. This is all Mofo, so these are the Mofo axles. It's got the Mofo brass weights in the front. These are Injora links, so the links are kit bashed as well. It's a C-bolt length, so the shorter in the front, longer in the rear, but not as long as the Gladiator. These here are the only factory axial pieces I've ever purchased for an SCX24. I have 3 of them, and I basically built all of them from chassis and just components. There really aren't any kits for these things, so you just got to buy your individual pieces and put them together. But these are real deal axial SCX24 drive shafts. Everything else was kind of, put together, pieced together from other parts. Mofo rear axle as well. Injora skid, like I said, Injora gearbox, and then the Furitek adapter for the Mini Komodo. I got the body and these sliders from Etsy. I don't recall the maker, but these Toyota bodies are all over Etsy, 3D printed. I had to cut the grill there to get the steering horn, the servo horn in. These are the Power Hobby Mud Boss, and these are Injora wheels, the Injora brass wheels. The brass wheels are nice and heavy. It has, what's the guy? There's kind of I don't know why I can't think of it. These are the fancy printed inserts in these tires. Shoot. It's like slime or fluffernutters is what 24 Yep calls them, but I can't remember the name. If you're into SCX24s, you'll know the insert. I just took a piece of Kydex and glued it down on top of the bed to cover that up, so it kind of looks like a tonneau cover. The paint is just regular old spray paint, so I put a layer of red primer down, then I put a layer of silver down, and then I put my paint. That way, whenever you get screwed out, and I took some sandpaper, obviously, and scratched it up to give it a patinaed look. But if you do that, if you layer that paint like that on the outside, as you crash and scratch, it'll just look even more patinaed, so it works out pretty well doing paint jobs like that. And then if you get, so this thing is actually like a green color, and I don't see anywhere where it's showing through right now. But if you get green coming through, there's a little bit right there maybe, so that's actually the green of the 3D print. If you get some of that coming through, you can just take a silver Sharpie. So just grab a silver Sharpie that in, and you're back to looking patinaed again. So it works pretty well. Works pretty well for a so it's not a flex monster or anything. It climbs fairly well. Oh, I've got some O-rings on the fronts to try to keep that front end collapsed. You know, there's not a lot of on a 10 scale. I don't like these bands. I don't like those. I would rather do what I'm trying to do through shock oil weight, or springing, or readjusting the location of the shocks. I think that's a better way to do it. But in this scale, I mean, you can put oil in these shocks, and there is a small amount of oil in these shocks, but it doesn't really make any difference. Really, it's just the springs or what is the suspension on a 24th scale, because there's not enough oil in there, and you can change it to whatever weight you want to. It doesn't really change the reaction of the shock. So in this scale, I think, you know, those bands are necessary on a lot of builds, just because there's really no other way to control the suspension on these things. So he doesn't have a name. I'm not good at naming things. So he is the hard body build. If I was going to go to a comp, he would be entered in the hard body area. I'd have to change the tires. These tires are too large, I believe. I think it's like a 63 millimeter is the top of class 2. I don't know. I guess that's the same for hard body class, but the tires are way too big. I've got some 57s. I've got some comp pins, or, you know, the Injora pins that I throw on him from time to time. He does less good with those because he loses a lot of ground clearance, but you know, they're okay. So anyway, that is the hard body SCX24 custom chassis, and just other various components. So he does all right. He looks pretty good. So that's him. Thanks.